Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We had a little trouble with our unmuting our mic there for a second, so I apologize. I couldn't let you know because you wouldn't have been able to hear me. Welcome to what looks like right now a beautiful day outside. I woke up to 20 degrees lighter. I've had my windows open, and it was chilly this morning. So I think it kind of knocked me off of my feet a little bit, but I'm excited to talk about the World Parkinson's Congress today. Over the past several months, since it was announced, way back, and then over the last several months, we've had lots of requests for information about the World Parkinson's Congress, and some of you might not know enough about it to really be as excited as we are that the conference is coming to Portland this year. And so I'm going to try and do it pretty quick, but spend some time going through information about the actual Congress. And it's a 3-day conference, and so there's a lot of information. And then we'll answer some questions at the end. What we're planning, though, is as we go through and show this to you, we as being a partner organization were sent a hard copy. I don't know if you can see me, of the provisional. No, you're good. I can see me on there, but of a provisional program. This whole program can be found online and printed out. But what we're going to do is, after today, if you have questions about schedule or maps or things like that, Emily, if you contact Emily and I'll put our email addresses up near the end, we will send you out a packet of information, just because it's a lot to print out. I think this is it's 40 pages plus. So, and that's why they haven't sent them out to all the individuals. But good afternoon. Welcome. So, what is the World Parkinson's Congress? And that's a good question. So this year, the 4th Annual World Parkinson's Congress is joining us in Portland, Oregon, from September 20th to September 23rd. And why is that a big deal? Well, because they only do it once every 3 years. This is the 4th one that they're doing. And the other ones have been as far away as Toronto and I think I should look actually, because the first one, I thought I had it memorized, but now that I'm in front of the camera, I don't have it memorized. But the last one was in Toronto, Canada. I did not get to go to that one. I had just been at the Parkinson's Resource Center for about a year at that time, and it was Montreal, was where that was held. So, and then prior to that, I believe it was in Sweden or Switzerland. Thank you from the crowd. See, I love having you here. So the mission is to provide an international forum to learn the latest scientific discoveries, medical practices, caregiver initiatives, and advocacy work related to Parkinson's, bringing physicians, scientists, nurses, rehabilitation specialists, caregivers, and people with Parkinson's disease together. And when they say that, they actually mean that. The last one had approximately 3,000 individuals go to it, of which 1,300 of them were of that first list: physicians, scientists, nurses, rehab specialists, and the rest were Parkinson's community members, caregivers, and family. And to bring that amount of people together, just the vibe, if you really believe that good thoughts can create change in the world, just having 3,000 people together thinking about Parkinson's and different ways to improve and enhance the lives of Parkinson's community members, it's kind of hard to find anything wrong with that scenario. So that's in a nutshell, but it's just about connections. It's about bringing Parkinson's communities together. So I had an email from, it was Arizona. Yeah, it's a Parkinson's Alliance in Arizona for a program that we're doing in June. And she said, I hope we get to meet soon, maybe at the World Parkinson's Congress. So for me as a director of an organization, it's going to give me a chance to go and connect with other people doing what I do so we can share our ideas. So again, there's a lot of really good reasons for it. And how can you pass up that from Spokane, it's 8 hours away. Tri-City is what is that, about 5.5. Seattle 2 by train, and there's a lot of different ways to go. And even Montana, it's not very far considering how far it would be to go to the other sites in the past. And we don't know when it's going to be back in Portland again or the Northwest. So it's a 3-day event, and there's this graphic that it's hard to see, but the day is full from 8 a.m. in the morning until 10 p.m. at night some nights. So what I'm going to go through and show you a little bit here is, forgive me as I go back and forth between all these things. Just trying to make sure that's not the schedule. That was the one thing I didn't turn over. Okay, so we'll do it this way. We'll go to the website and program and okay, so I'm going to click on that and hopefully I can get it to be a little bit bigger. But we're gonna ignore the first day a little bit. And I'll talk about Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So starting in the morning, if you want to get up at 8 o'clock and you are a early riser, they're going to have hot topics, what's new and what's going on that just came out during or right near the World Parkinson's, but what's the new and breaking information and technology. And then the next thing will be the morning plenary, I think is how you say that. It's a new word for me, but I like it. But what the goal is of that is to actually bring, they do the pre-Congress hot topics, it's designed to bring the whole Congress attendees together. So that means that you're going to be in the room with doctors, caregivers, providers, therapists, all kinds of different people, and you're all going to be listening and learning about the same topic. There'll be question and answer periods, but they'll be limited because they're going to be coming back around and they'll be available during workshops or roundtables later in the day. And then, so they don't give the topics, well, yes, they do actually here. I was thinking they didn't give them for all of them. But they're, so an example of the day 2 talk for the morning program that I just showed you. So right here from 9:15 to 11:15, how are genes studied and involved in PD from causing genes to risk factors. There's and his speaker is going to be Tom Gasser from Germany. Talk number 2, how does environment modify genetic PD risk? Speaker Beat Ritz from the USA. What can you do with this information? Risk, medication, insurance, ethics. Speaker John Carlwish from the USA. Talk number 4, genetic testing, empowerment or risk for people with Parkinson's. Now, I'm telling you this this schedule, but remember that it is a provisional program, and just like any program we do, sometimes speakers are not available and things happen, so they could change. But in that second morning session, they're going to be talking about genes, genetics, risk factors. It's pretty incredible that you're going to be getting firsthand, up-to-date information on that. So then we'll go back to my lovely PowerPoint. So those are the plenary sessions, and then they break out for lunch. Gotta love lunch. And everything is in-house. So the way they build this is you can go from one session to another and walk inside. It's well laid out. They're even, this is one of the emails that I got the other day. They're taking time and their money from the organization, and they are training hotel staff on what to expect when you have people with Parkinson's who are staying in your hotel, what needs they might have. So on that basis, when you're in the actual conference, it is set up for all mobility levels and and needs. And now I'm watching somebody in the crowd look something up on the phone, and now I'm curious. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, that's great. So plenary means bringing everybody together. So thank you. And so then you go to lunch, and then after lunch there'll be 2 different opportunities. And so I'll go back to the schedule, and again, I apologize for jumping back and forth. That was the one page that I actually had bigger so that you could see it. But 2 of the days there might be a special lecture that you can break out to go to. And then from 1:30 to 3, there's parallel sessions, and there's workshop roundtables. So let's explain what those are really quick. So parallel sessions designed to offer in-depth session focused on specific cutting-edge research in the fields of Parkinson's. This session will appeal to those who want to understand the basic and clinical science underlying the research conducted to better understand the main facets of Parkinson's disease. These will be set in larger lecture halls of up to nearly 500 delegates and will offer question and answer periods, but they will be less interactive than the workshops. And then workshops. Approximately 24 different workshops designed for smaller groups of attendees ranging from 75 to 150 people. Speakers will give an overview of the assigned topic, then work together presenting case studies and research that can highlight the topic in ways that are educational, unique, and easy to digest. These are allowed for more interaction, longer question and answer periods. So going to the first day schedule that I have here in front of me, from 1:30 to 3:30, they have a scientific update on antibody therapeutic approaches for neurodegenerative diseases. That's one of them. In that lecture includes immunization against cynuclein challenges and lessons learned. Update on single chain fragment variable. These are really long. That's why they didn't send these out. Really long titles. And then engineered multifunctional antibody fragments as neurodegenerative diseases therapeutics. Thank you very much for doing that. There we go. And Michael saves the day. Michael.
No.
And then, so another one is impulse control disorders in PD, which is one that comes along with medication. Many of you know about that. So there's another really good in the now topic. And then this next one sounds to me more like if you're a provider, but transcription factors and survival of DA neurons. So that's a little bit above my head, but it sounds very, very interesting. Non-motor symptoms addressing unmet needs. And that's a huge one that we talk about a lot. So that's just the parallel sessions going on the first day. You have 4 options to go to. Mind-blowing. At the same time, workshops, iron in PD, therapeutic implications. So they're going to talk about iron homeostasis in PD, and how iron is used to treat PD. Another workshop is freezing of gait and PD. Another workshop is nutrition and PD, doesn't really matter. And then there's going to be roundtables for each one of those. So, I mean, just the amount of information, I kind of want to send a delegate to go to each one just so we can get all the information. So that's a lot of stuff in one little spout there. Okay. So then after that, or during these sessions, you can also break out into roundtable sessions, free, but you need to sign up ahead of time, and you have to be at your table when it begins, and it's a chance to meet the speakers and the experts that were talking in the earlier talks in the morning. Again, you're one-on-one, or I guess depending on how many people are in the room, you're 1 in 50 in a room with an expert who is speaking about cell-to-cell transmission and getting to ask questions, or getting to talk about gate problems in PD. So there's a lot of different options for that. And those sessions happen. Those, if you look there, where did those go? I'm going to take a drink of water really quick. Those are going on the side of these in here on the parallel sessions and workshops. Then they have special lunch lectures, and so on the first and second day on that last schedule, you could see right here where they have special lectures, and that one I don't have the information on those. I imagine once you register, you will get information about what those are so that you can sign up for those ahead of time. And then at the end of the day, for each day, they have a wrap-up, and they have moderators for each one of those days to go through and here, moderator for end of day for from 5:15 to 6:30. For the second day, they have a gentleman from the USA. They have 3 gentlemen from the USA, 1 from Australia, and 1 from Sweden, all wrapping up what have been talked about for the day. It just brings the entire world of Parkinson's together, and it's an amazing opportunity. Without downselling it, it makes me exhausted just thinking about it, but it sounds like an amazing amount of information. And then they have poster tours. One of the fun things that they do is they ask for submissions on posters and on let's go in there. Let's see if we talk about that. But they asked for submissions, and in the years past, Dance for Parkinsons has done a submission, not ours, but the Dance for PD out of New York. But they submit posters just to get the word out, and so there's a tour that you can go back and walk through if you don't want to sit through the end of the day wrap-up or you get done. But you can go do the tours. And there's other things. They have a special event, World Parkinson's at the movies. There's a lot of different things. So some of the submissions, individuals from the Parkinson's community can submit what Parkinson's means to them, a lot of different things. And this one, not everybody will. I'll just do a little disclaimer ahead of time. The music is a little bit like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, but it's very interesting. This is called Feverhead, and the gentleman who wrote it, his name is Skip, and he both composed the music and sung the song. But this is his life in his words in music. And this is just one example of what you might be able to see in the World Parkinson's Congress.
As walking through a cloud I tread, fearing trip and fumble, timid foot and timid step, slowing lest I tumble. Well, don't let it tip you over. Little movement in the isotopes and white coats and stethoscopes. Round and round as I am led. This then the doctor said. Fever head, fever head. Classical fever Are you going to the dance? Not dance, but excitation. 5 to 7 kilohertz. Musical notation. Don't let it tip you over. Images and isotopes and white coats and stethoscopes. Round and round as I am led. This then that doctor said. Fever head, fever head. Classical fever head.
So that's just a quick example of one of the other things that you might see at the World Parkinson's Congress. You guess you don't need to see my Facebook page, do you? We'll close that one. There wasn't anything. I think I had some good food recipes and things on there. That's not so bad, huh? But there's so much information that I'm sure there's going to be ways to also get access to it afterwards. But again, it's just about building community, and we have such a great opportunity for it being close. And then they're going to do the daily wrap-up I talked about earlier. And also included in all of that, there's going to be an art walk that, by art walk, I don't mean like a walkathon. They are, for the first time, doing art submitted by Parkinson's community members. And so you'll have an opportunity to see how other people express their Parkinson's in many different ways. So this is how you register. And I'll jump over to the website, but you go to WPC2016.org under registration tab, register now. The registration regular price goes until July 5th. You can also mail in your registration, and it's $12 extra to mail that in. And so I'm going to flip over to... So how much does it cost to go? Here's a grid showing the prices to go. Person with Parkinson's, $300, or there is a discounted that you can contact them about, care partner, and again a discounted, or a company person. So July 5th, these prices are in that includes till July 5th, and then after July 5th, it'll go up. As you can see on the side, it goes up a little bit, and then you can register right up until the last day. If something comes up, the registration does go up. Looks like between $75 and $100. But what that does, while that seems like a lot, it's $3 at a glance, and 300 is a lot. But you can also see about discounted amounts. That gets you all the programs for well over 3 days, because you can go from 8 a.m. until until as late as you want on some of those days. But especially the education part, those go till 6:15. So these are the registration fees. There were travel grants available, but the travel grants, they had over 300 requests for travel grants, and they're in the process of deciding who gets those. And so the travel grant process is now closed. So the other thing that they do have, though, we'll get back to that in a second. The other thing, there we go. So that's the travel grant part. Sorry, I'm just looking through where I was going. I kind of jumped forward in there. That's what I was looking for. And then, so the other thing that they do have, and as of May 5th, is they had 12 spots available for volunteers. And I know of 3 people from Spokane, Chelan, and North Idaho who are representatives from our area who are volunteers. And the volunteer, becoming a volunteer includes your registration for the entire event and a bunch of other things that they include because you are working throughout the event. And they do accommodate needs, if mobility needs and things like that, if you do get accepted as a volunteer. But as of the 5th, the last email, they had 12 spots available. If it's something you're interested in, it's a great way to see the inner workings of what's going on, but give your time and then also help reduce the registration and travel costs. So then this, you're not going to be able to see this as on the screen, but they had 10 hotels with bookings for the World Parkinson's Congress rate. They added 4 more of those. So if you go on to that initial website that I talked about, the worldparkinsons.2016.org, and go under housing, you can, let's click there. Oh, there, it's going slow. So housing information. It's a little confusing that they call it housing, but they're talking about hotels. So they had 10 booked, and they're all the convention centers here, and so there's hotels in this area, and then there's hotels right down, so very close, most of them within walking distance or shuttle distance. But they have, if you go on here, they show you all of the rates and all the different hotels, and then you can click, it tells you where, 9 on the map, Quality Inn. So they have a range. They're not all $219. They range, it looks like, for about $100 to up. And I think if I showed, that was 14, because there's this is a new hotel. So yeah, look through there. They've really got it down. They have it set up for people to come and try and have the easiest access to the event. So, and you get to be in downtown Portland, which is beautiful. Travel from Spokane. So one of the reasons that we are doing this today, and Emily stayed back at the center today because yoga starts in 15 minutes. Not really. It's 15. You know what I mean. It's you have to be over there in 15 minutes to set up. But so Emily's over there. But when I say we've had a lot of people asking us about traveling in a group from Spokane. And what I have found is group travel by bus or van, or group travel by Amtrak, which is also a possibility, which sounds to me fun, but requires 20 or more people to really get a package going. So what we're going to do, did I do this? We're going to wait until the end of May 31st, and if we have 20 people or more who are interested in traveling with us together, we will set up, like I said, I have information for a van or a bus or Amtrak, and we'll figure that out together. But until I know that we have that number of 20 people or more who are interested, I don't want to put any money down on a bus or anything like that. So, but I can imagine that it would be a lot of fun to travel together down there, and you're all close together, so you wouldn't have to worry about a car and that cost. This travel on here won't be free of cost, but it would probably help with expense as far as it, since we're doing it as a group, we'd be splitting it up between the number of people going. So let me repeat that, because I don't always communicate things well. If we have more than 20 or more people contact us at the Spokane Northwest Parkinsons Inland Empire office by May 31st, leaving a message before 9 o'clock, on June 1st, I will start the process of booking a van, bus, or Amtrak. So get hold of us if you have an interest. Just telling us you have an interest doesn't set in stone that you're going to do it. But it helps me find out what our needs are going to be for that travel. And so if you want, this is a lot of information again. This is a program that's 40 pages long. You can print this all out on the website. But if you want information, any of this that's been talked about or something else that you want us to print out, Emily or I will print it out. So you can contact us at, let's see, Cyndi, Cyndi, at northwestparkinsons.org. If you spell it the way you're used to, I won't get your email. Emily at northwestparkinsons.org. Call us and leave a message at 509-443-3361. Our SpokaneParkinsons.org website is still operational, so we will be putting information up. What we do know is the program, you can no longer click on the program calendar to, at least right now, I have to see if that's fixed on the Spokane Parkinsons, but you can still click on our calendar, and it is still a busy and fun calendar, a lot of good things going on. And where did I go? And then the copy of this presentation will be on YouTube once Emily uploads it from Northwest Telehealth, and we can also make copies on DVD. And you can go to the World Parkinsons WPC2016.org for all the information that I just went over. But sometimes trying to navigate all of that, we understand, is a lot of work. But all of the programs, everything I just talked about on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're all right here. So everything that but we'll spend the money to print it out, because that's why we're here. It's not about this money that it costs. We just want to get you the information. And then, so that's a lot of, I just felt like I talked for a long time and said a lot of things. So I need your help. What's going on with PD teleconnection in the future? After nearly 5 years and all of 2 months of attempting to have new and informative, pertinent topics during that time, we need your feedback for topics. I figured out, I think it was 52 months. I've scheduled 52 speakers in the last 5 years. Some of them has been me. I apologize. But as we get more things building up in our community where there are great resources, like almost all of the home care providers now have somebody who can do LSVT big and loud, the community knows more about that, so you don't necessarily want to have a topic at Telehealth. I need you to contact me with things that you're interested in to hear about at Telehealth. This program is here for you, and if you tell me a topic, I'll find a speaker, or I'll work to find a speaker. So I'm working on topics for the next 7 months, and you can email me, you can call me. We'll keep it just between us if you want, or you can share it as we go around the question and answer. Next month's topic is going to be stress management. And stress management, low or no cost. And here, let me tell you about my day. Just kidding. Um, but so stress management, low or no cost, because stress is one of the biggest aggravators of all of our chronic diseases. So that is next month. Last slide. So we have been working on integrating a real-time web viewing option into our current PD teleconnection format. So we're looking at, hopefully, with now being part of Northwest Parkinson's, to include not only the sites that you can come to live and do your support group together, but maybe an option where you can meet at a library or meet at somebody's home and watch these live. So we're working on that. It might be a while before that comes up, but again, any feedback that I can get on that. We know that one of the biggest benefits of this program is bringing groups of people like we have today together, because you're not then only learning about resources and education, but you're also getting the social interaction and activities that people really need when they have a chronic disease or illness. So we're not looking at getting rid of this part anytime in the future, but we're trying to just add to it. So that being said, when we add that option, we might take a month or two off, just to let you know, to kind of integrate and to give me some time and Emily some time to work that out. So just keep that in mind. But oh, look at, I spelled implement wrong. Oh, look, it's right there. Sorry, just noticed. But it just gives us time to bring it up. So if we have a month where you don't see the program, don't forget about us. We're here the second Monday of every month at 2 o'clock. Or at least then that's the plan, to keep it on that date right now. And yeah, so thank you very much. Let me see. I think I had, that's what I was going to pull up the calendar. Couple last things. Coming up this month on May 20th, we are doing our third Paint for the Heart with Parkinson's. You might have heard about Pinot's Palette, and there's other companies where you go and you paint and you drink a little wine and you have fun. Well, we found out when we brought on Emily that Emily is a bit of an artist, and that's an understatement. So Emily likes to do those programs. So we are doing our own fundraiser. All the proceeds stay in the Inland Northwest, Spokane, Idaho, Montana. It's $35. That covers all of your art supplies. And what we do is it's a follow along paint event. So Emily will has a picture picked out. This one's called Bird on a Wire, or Birds on a Wire, and she'll go step by step on how to paint it. And everybody's will end up different, and they'll all be wonderful. And you get a little bit of drink and a little bit of food, and we have a good time. It goes on for a couple hours on the 20th. Dr. Aldred and Teva Neurosciences has confirmed that they will be doing a Living Well with Parkinson's talk, probably the last one in the area, because Teva Neuroscience will no longer have funding after the ASLEC goes generic, and that's going to happen on the 23rd of May. We just found that out, so it's not on the calendar. It's going to be in the Spokane Valley. So it's either going to be in Liberty Lake or out near Sullivan Road. But we're trying to get it, I don't know if it'll be in Post Falls, but we're trying to get it kind of to bridge between Spokane and Coeur d'Alene at 5:30-ish. Look for information about that. And then in just 1, 2, 3, 4, really, 4 Wednesdays from this one, 3 Wednesdays from this one. The Montana Hope Conference is on May 25th in Kalispell, Montana. It's free of cost, and it goes from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and registration is still open. We have space for more. We have a whole bunch of different topics coming out for that. And so that's the Montana Hope, and you can go to the World Parkinson's, I got it on the brain, northwestparkinsons.org website, and if you aren't getting their weekly emails, go over here to this underneath the donate now, and you can get these weekly emails. Now, one of the things about being as small as we were for the Parkinson's Resource Center is this system of weekly emails was something I could never keep up with, and I just love this. Every Monday morning at I think about 7 o'clock, I get a reminder email that talks about all of the programs that are coming up this week, the movement programs. So you don't have to donate if you click on this. You can just subscribe. You can tell it whatever you want. But I recommend if you want reminders and upcoming information and stories and things like that, go subscribe to this. It's a really good email. And did I miss anything else? Okay. Thank you. So now we do question and answer. Where'd my pencil go? Okay. Oh, I do have to say one thing. So in the changeover for becoming Northwest Parkinson's Foundation Inland Empire, funding and things and getting me a company credit card, it takes a little time when that transition happens. So I didn't have a company credit card to get postcards this month. So look for postcards for next month. But again, if you don't receive a postcard, call us and get the information on what it is, because Emily is there 11 to 4, Monday through Friday, unless we have a program that we both need to be at or there's more than one program. Or visit the website or sign up for those emails, because this program will be here every second Monday of the month at 2 o'clock. So it looks like I'll start down the list really, and I'll go quick for the ones that we don't think got to dial in. But Anchorage.
Yes, we're here. All right, can you hear us?
Oh. Hi there.
Yeah,
How many?
we have 3 today.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
I have one suggestion for a presentation would be to have like a Q&A with a Parkinson's doc, just an open mic kind of thing where people could bring up their questions and ask the guy or gal, whoever it is.
So a question and answer period with the physicians?
Yeah, with somebody that's the expert. And that'd be, you can do that as a recurring show if you want. I'm sure if you...
Yeah, that's a great idea, and that's why I need these suggestions, because we haven't done that for a while. It's been about a year and a half maybe since we've done that, and there's just sometimes, you forget what we've done. So thank you. That's a great suggestion. I just wrote it down, and I hope everything is going well up there in Alaska.
Of course it is.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye. Billings, Montana.
Yes, we have a couple of questions. One was, are you going to have shuttle buses that will run from those hotels to the conference? And the other one was, will there be tapes available? Will you have tapes available for the conference?
I don't know the answer to the second question. In all of the research that I have had, I haven't seen that yet. So I'll put that question down, because we'll be able to answer. We would ask that question next month if you come, or call us for DVD or video conference video. And the first question, the individual hotels do have shuttles that you would be able to individually. We're not setting up any travel plans from the hotels or things like that, but all the hotels have shuttles and things to get you to the actual convention center, and you would set those up with the hotel once you book where you're going to be.
You're overwhelmed. I have one other question.
Sure.
Here in Billings, we have a lot of people with early onset. Everything that we get is set while the other people are working, those that are still able to work. Could you work in some kind of programs for early onset?
Yes. So topics for this during the day, or do you want nighttime?
Well, it would have to be after working hours, after 5.
Okay. Well,
here in Montana now, we're an hour ahead of you.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify. And one of the things that we do with our young onset group here in Spokane And it's something that's worked really well now. We're going on, I think, 15 months of our group meeting, but we have something called a PD Connect that we meet at a different restaurant every month. It's generally between 8 and 25 people, so I've learned really well the restaurants that have long tables, and we, the resource center, Northwest Parkinsons Inland Empire provides all the non-alcoholic drinks and a couple appetizers for it, but we just sit down and share, and we end up, it starts at 5:30, and sometimes we end up going until 8:30 or 9, and it's just a really good time to share. So it's informal. If you had one person who could contact the restaurant, get there a little early, but what we found and what we're hearing from other young onset groups is that something that works out really well until other more substantial education programs can happen at night. But I will put down nighttime, because as we get into the having web possibilities, doing it at night is an option later on. Thank you very much, Billings.
Thank you.
How many people did you have?
We have 3.
Thank you. Okay, Clarkston, Tri-State.
There's two patients and no questions. Thanks.
Thank you very much for being there today. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Okay. And Moses Lake.
We have 21 people. Are there any questions? No questions.
Thank you very much for hosting us earlier this month, you guys, at Moses Lake. That was a great turnout, and it was such a great place to do it. So we hope to continue to be able to help if we can in Moses Lake. Pullman Regional Hospital. Okay, Pullman disconnected. Thank you. Sandpoint, Idaho.
This one.
And one topic, suggested topic was acupuncture.
Acupuncture. And Mike, was that the one we did in December? We did do actually an acupuncture talk in December, but we need to do it again because the DVD, there's something wrong with the DVD, and we didn't record it. So we have an opportunity to do it again, and I'll put it on the list because I sometimes don't think about doing it over really quick after doing one prior, but that's a topic that it was a great presentation. So acupuncture, it's on my list. Thank you. How many people do you have today in Sandpoint?
7.
Thank you. Skip 2. Okay, I'll go back up there. Tenasket, North Valley.
Yes, there's 3 in the group today, and there's no questions.
Thank you very much for being here today. Appreciate it. Okay, and I think I missed Colville.
2 here today and no questions, and thinking about seeing you in Portland.
Well, we'd love it. We'd love to see you, or we'd love to see you in Spokane as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here today. Did I miss anybody else on the list? Kalispell? Okay. If I missed you, go ahead and unmute your mic and let me know. Richland? Is Richland there? We can kind of see you, but if we can't, it looks like maybe 3. Yeah, Cadleck Medical Center. Okay, and here in Spokane, we have no questions. So I really appreciate your time every month We appreciate your support so much. Oh, there was one activity I forgot, the Spokane Festival of Speed. For 2 days in Spokane, this is our 3rd year having it back. There will be 75 to 80 vintage race cars on the Spokane Raceway Park in Airway Heights. And all the proceeds from the ticket sales go to support Parkinson's programs in our area, which is now the Inland Empire, so eastern Washington, northern Idaho, and Montana. And there's more information coming up, and it'll be on our website and things like that. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it, and have a beautiful month. I hope to see you at some of our programs at the Montana Hope Conference, at Dr. Aldert's talk, at our activities. And if you need anything, get a hold of us. Have a good day.